Thought I'd just do a quick video on, these are quite rare, and you might say, hey, it's just a Cybernet chassis, yada yada yada, etc etc. We were just having this conversation, to be honest, myself and a friend of mine, and I'm just wiping the dust off, and we're just talking about how the Thorn 1503 is not something you come across every day of the week. You probably come across something that looks very similar called the Tele Radio, and that was similar. I sometimes walk past teleradios and confuse them, no question about that. Anyway, we're just injecting about 1.78 microvolts into this at the moment, just to give it a meter movement as such. And as you'll see, now this one, someone's put a blue globe in there, which, you know, the person who's getting this, I bet she puts a white one back in there. We'll see. But all right, let's have a look here. What are we doing here? So turn that up. Oh, now putting no microvolts into it. I was going to say, look at that. Okay, here we go. Come on. Oh yeah, definitely hearing things. Let's see how far down we could take that. Look at that. Not bad for an old Cybernet. 0.5 microvolt. That's not sort of looking too bad, is it really? Now, when I obviously take it over to the lower side, then we're going to lose that signal. Let's have a look. Let's take that annoying tone off, and let's go. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we've got. Oh yeah. Let's have a look. I reckon we tune this one at some stage. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah. No, we definitely have. We've definitely done that at some stage. But yeah. Let's just check some AM power. What do we got? About 5 watts there. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually good. Very common on Cybernets, and I don't mind disclosing this because you guys got no idea where it's going to, is that, of course, this was the old thing back in the day. This here is a 10kc switch, so basically the center position from memory would be 10kcs not in play, 10kcs up, 10kcs down. Now obviously that worked on certain channels, so on, say, I gotta remember now, let's say you're on channel 12, was it, and you wanted to go down to 7 Australian. Now I'm trying to remember if that's on 11 and go up, but anyway, either. If you remember the old 15A that was on channel 16, and you went down to 15A, or the opposite, 15 and went up to 15A, might have been up actually, I think, with that one. This looks like it's a 320 kilohertz line, which is basically just taking it from 42 to 59 from memory. The other possibility, I doubt it is that it could be a switch for 60 to 104, etc, etc. Now look at this. I mean, if you just put aside the fact that those two switches need to go, there you go. It used to suit RB249 beautifully, and as you can see, they had their Australian approval number and everything on there. Previously an 18 channel, so it's had a 40 channel switch put into it, which is very, very common on the Cybernet chassis. Loads and loads and loads of them did that. Hang on, let's just get this back up here. Normally we shoot the covers and give them a bit of, but the chap that's buying this is going to shoot them himself, and that's no problems. Thorn microphone, nice to have matching mics, you know, sort of. I'm not going to try and kid you and say that, you know, it's like a really highly desirable mic. They were an average mic at best, and when I say average, look, they work fine. They had the same 500 ohm insert in them that every other mic had. You know, they were all right. But what I'm saying is, you know, it's more the branding, just getting the actual Thorn logo and everything on there. It's not really even a logo, is it? But anyway, but yeah, so that's the Thorn 1503. They're not a bad little radio, and some of the things we like to check, obviously, just things like the digits, make sure that we're getting everything happening on there. No digits that are, you know, going to freak out on us and suddenly not work. But that one's working well. As I said, look, the chap that's getting this is sort of aware that there's a couple of things that he may do. Now, for the sake of ACMA, one of those things is he's going to obviously take out those two switches and block up 2 holes. I actually offered to do that for him, but he's quite able to do that, so that was no problems. And basically just he's going to, I would say, probably turn that back to a incandescent white light, which, yeah, I'd do the same thing. I think that's probably not a bad thing to do either. But overall, these Cybernet chassis are starting to become a lot rarer than you think, to find a decent front. Now that's just it. And when I take, where is it? Hang on, let me just grab something that might help us out here. Now just look at the top of that, and I've just used a bit of rubbish, nothing extreme, and just look at the gleam that comes off that straight away. So a lot of the radios you're seeing here at the moment, once you get the dust off them, because some, I'm not going to kid you, they've been sitting around for years on shelves, and not all of them are in the museum, so let's not play games there. But the chap that's buying this, he'll clean the knobs, clean the front. He buys it, just so you know, he buys it $75 cheaper for the sake of cleaning some knobs and shooting the covers with a bit of black. And we offer that to a lot of clients because I'm running out of time for doing covers all the time, etc, etc. I used to have a little assembly line going, but we're just so busy now. Look, I'll still do them if people want them, but we do give them the option, and and I don't mind disclosing. I don't think the chap will mind. This radio sold for $275 plus a bit of postage. So that's what buys a Thorn 1503. Some people may say that's cheap. Some people may say it's expensive. I think it's right in the middle. I honestly do. I think if I was searching for a Thorn 1503 and I couldn't find one, well, I know what I've paid for other radios. I know exactly what I've paid for a lot of radios, and some of those have been extreme. I'm sort of really into, especially if the fronts are good, i.e. Carinas, Expo Phantom communicators. Good luck finding good fronts of those radios. Now, I've got a couple that I've got one Carina I'll never sell, which Mark Pivotal from ICOM actually donated to me, and it's I love it. It's got a lovely RF signalizer underneath it, and I must show that radio at some stage and do a bit of a video on that. And look, it's not perfect, but I'll tell you what, I've got a lot worse Carinas in my collection that don't really make it. So when you do see something that you've got to see past some of the small things. Sometimes there are sometimes things you just can't get past because they're just not available these days, so you've got to put up with a couple of little things at times, but generally if most of the if this is not chipped and not and etc. And don't get me wrong, we only talked about this earlier that Paul Ashby has ways of even fixing that with chrome these days and lots of things. So if you do get into trouble and you haven't got complete knowledge of how to maybe bring that radio back to a totally restored finish, and you want to get it to that stage, when it comes to the cosmetics, Paul is your man at Pull It Apart Paul on YouTube, and we're actually just doing a bit of a collab with him at the moment with our last giveaway, or next giveaway, sorry, and I'm really happy to push the work Paul does, because it's really nice stuff. But a bit like one of our other customers, Lionel Jacobson, is after a SBE Cybander 4, and Lionel won't mind me saying, now we've just pulled this one out. On the surface, it looks pretty good. It's a good starting. That radio is probably $250, something like that, if it works. But I'm just being rough here, and Lionel, just so you can see, that's the one we're sort of having a look at for you tomorrow. But the bones, if the bones is there, and once again, if you can sort of see that, hey, I'm not going to have to redo the whole front on this. I mean, Paul can make one of these look like new. I've seen him do it. But, if you can save yourself the hard work, of course, try and do it. This 1503, shoot the covers with a bit of black. Just so simple. And basically give this a clean, and you've got a really, really nice looking radio that's not, totally faultless in its look, but I tell you what, it is certainly a very, very nice radio to put in your collection. All right, well, that's just a quick look at the Thorn 1503. I'm doing this more for Geoff, my mate that's actually bought this, just so that he can sort of get a bit of a look tonight. I gave him a pretty grungy, dirty photo, and I thought, now I'm going to do a grungy, dirty video, because I haven't really cleaned much on this yet. That's Geoff's job. He'll be right. Yeah, just wanted to say, a little bit about the Thorn. And once again, to all those people that sort of say, hey, it's just another Cybernet. Well, yes, but you know what? It's like saying the Sound 4 is just another Cybernet, Now, I've got one. Do you? And I'm not being rude or arrogant. I'm just saying, Doug Soundstrom, who did the Sound 4 fronts for those, and I don't know if anyone remembers, but that's how that all eventuated. Of course, his reach to sell CB radios was nowhere near as through Sound 4 as big as some of the bigger brands. So of course now when you go to find a Sound 4 with the black knobs and the nice anodized front looking thing and blah blah blah, it's sort of like an aluminium front really. It's really hard to find one. Well, the Thorn 1503 is a bit the same. And that's what I'm trying to sort of get at, is just be wary. Don't condemn the seller if if he's got a Super Panther and the face is all marked up. Sure, it's probably worth $150. It works. It's got a 40 channel switch in it. Let's face it, the switch is worth nearly $100 these days. So let's be honest and say there are limitations to a cybernet in some forms, but let me tell you, you got an Expo Phantom communicator in absolutely pristine condition. We sold one for $600. So just sort of making you aware there are different cybernets, there are different variations of pricing depending on what the condition is and what the availability is, and more the availability. Condition obviously comes into it a large extent, but availability is becoming a huge thing. All right, well, we've had a very busy day today. I was out of bed, which is good, and we always like those days. We've got about, I said 20 to my chap earlier, but no, I counted 19 parcels going out tomorrow. So if you're expecting something in the next week or so, yes, you got packaged up today. No matter who you are, you got packaged up today. My mate down at IFR, you know who you are, you got packaged up today. Look, I could go on. There's so many people. You all got packaged up today. Anyway, Geoff, this will go out. I'll get this packaged up tonight, so it's ready to go for you. I just want to pull the cover actually. Only one thing I was just not 100% happy with. I just wanted to look at the receiver. I just reckon the meter reading on the receiver was just a little out, so I'm just going to have a quick look at that on our trusty analyzer. It wasn't that far out, but I just thought I just want to have a quick look at that before I shoot it off to you. So I have these sort of things that bug me otherwise. I know you're capable of doing it, I get it, but I also like people to receive a radio that is pretty much on the mark from the moment it arrives through the door. Thanks very much. Really good to have a full day today actually. I certainly wish I had a full day every day, but it's been a good full day today. Thorn 1503. What a stunning video trick. How I don't edit my videos, but I have effects, so look at that. The effects video. Righto, 73s, all the best. VK3, Charlie Mike, JDW 229, Tangamba, Malanga, Northeast Victoria. All the best, guys.